Hello students, welcome back to our class, and today we will discuss about the early cities that is in chapter 3. Okay, early cities that is in chapter 3. So first of all, we will try to know the meaning of city. Okay, so the English word city comes from the Latin word civitas. Okay, civitas, which means a highly organized community. A highly organized community, and also a city provides a man with his religion, education, amusement, and also sought to provide every of his needs. And cities have existed thousands of years and have their roots with the great river civilization of Mesopotamia, Egypt, and China. Okay, so now we will discuss about the early cities of Mesopotamia. Early cities of Mesopotamia. So first of all, we will discuss about the city of Ur. And so one of the early cities excavated by the archaeologists in 1830s was the city of Ur. And also the ordinary houses in the city of Ur, it has narrow winding streets, okay, narrow winding streets or twisted movement, and this indicates that the wheel carts, okay, the wheel carts could not reach most of their homes. And also the narrow winding streets and the irregular shapes of the house, it also indicates that there was no system of town planning. There was no system of town planning. And also there was no drainage or sewage system which were prevalent in the contemporary Mohenjo-daro. And also the Omer tablet, okay? Omer tablet of the city of Ur, it has so many superstitious beliefs about the houses, okay? So it is believed that a raised threshold, it brings wealth to the family. And also a front door which did not face another house, okay? It brings luck to the family. So we have the evidence of the cemeteries in the city of Ur for both the commoners and the royals. And now we will discuss about the city of Uruk. And so this city of Uruk, it is one of the important city of Mesopotamia, and the leaders of the city encouraged the settlements of the villages close to one another so as to repeatedly get an army together. And also in the city of Uruk, we find the depictions of war heroes and their victims. And the archaeological survey, that is about 3000 BC, Uruk grew to the extent of 250 hectares, and also it has a defensive walls. And also hundreds of people were employed for the constructions of the temple in the city of Uruk. And also there is technical advances, okay, technical advances, and by 3000 BC, bronze were used for various kinds of craft works. And also the architects, they know how to construct a bricks column because there was no wood available for the construction of large halls. And not only that, the captives of wars or the prisoners of wars and a large number of people were employed for the constructions of the temple and also the public utility works of the town. And the workers, they were paid rations, and a large number of ration lists have been found which mention the names of the workers and the quantity of grains allotted to them. And also the archaeologists estimated one of the temple, it took 1500 men working 10 hours a day, and it took 5 years to complete the temple. And also in the city of Uruk, there are so many beautiful temples painted with different colors, and also it is a trade center as well as it has a flourishing industries. Now we will discuss about the city of Mari. Mari is the capital city of Mari Kingdom, and it flourished in 2000 BC. It flourished in 2000 BC, and also the city of Mari, it is a trading town in pastoral zone, and also it not only stands in the southern plain of the highly productive agriculture, but also upstreams of river Euphrates, and also Mari is an example of good urban centers, flourishing in trades like wine, oil, coppers, and also with wood. And the king Zimrilin, he built a palace in the city of Mari, and this is a residence of the royal family and also the hub of administration as well as the center of production. And also this palace is the place where the king received foreign dignitaries as well as his own people here. And the palace, it has only one entrance in the north, and also it has 260 rooms covering the area of 2.4 hectare. Now we will discuss about the city of Tepe Gawra. And this Tepe Gawra is also one of the important city of Mesopotamia, and it was excavated by the archaeologists in 1932 to 1938. And it is located in the northern Iraq, northern part of Iraq, and also it lies between the river Tigris and also the foothill of the Maros mountain. And the system of burying the dead in the city of Tepe Gawra, it helps the archaeologists to reconstruct the town of Tepe Gawra. And from the grave excavated, we get a glimpse about how the people in the community lived and the concept about divine. And also in the city of Tepe Gawra, cemeteries are really the community of the dead, where differences in their wealth, ethnicity, religions are preserved as well as symbolized. And also the people who were buried in Tepe Gawra were either placed in a tombs or in a mud bricks or in a simple pit or in a vessels. And also the article placed in the grave also varied from gold, pots, jewelry, and also lapis lazuli. And from the grave, it represents the evolution of social status, power, and privileges in the society. And it is believed that the common people, they were buried either in a mud bricks or in a simple pit, whereas the rich people, they were buried with costly articles. Now we will discuss about the city of Kirkuk. This Kirkuk is also one of the important cities of Mesopotamia, and the history of this city goes back to 3rd millennium BC. And it was built by the king of Assyria, that is Nazir-Bal. Nazir-Bal in between 884 and 858 BC. And also it is a trade center as well as import center for the neighboring agriculture products such as wool, sheep, cattle, cheese, and also textiles were also manufactured here. And now we will discuss about the early cities of India. So Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, they are the two earliest important cities of India, and these two cities were well developed. And also the city of Mohenjo-daro, it is located in the river Indus, that is in the district of Sindh in Larkana in Pakistan. And also it is one of the social activity place for the Indus Valley people, and also one of the most important feature of the city of Mohenjo-daro is the well-planned drainage system. And the city of Harappa, it is larger than the city of Mohenjo-daro, And the houses discovered in the city of Harappa are smaller in size, but the city of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, they have more or less the same features. Now we will discuss about the historians' debate on the usage of writing. Historians debate on the usage of writing. One of the most essential conditions for the birth of civilization is that the people, they should know the system of writing, that is for the expression of idea and also preservation of knowledge. And every society, they have their own language with spoken sound and also with certain meaning. And by 4000 BC and 3000 BC, there was a steady progress in the development of writing. And so, the first form of writing, that is pictographic, okay? Pictographic, which means telling a story by means of a picture. And the better writing came when the picture sign, okay, picture sign. Picture sign was used not just to represent the object, but also the general idea. For example, a human eye represents eye, and also it could mean a sight or a look. And also, a human eye with falling tear, it would mean sorrow. And further change came in writing when the sign was made to stand for not for the picture but for the sound of a spoken syllable. And the fourth and the final stage is to have a sign stand for a single letter. The Egyptians, they were able to reach the final stage with an alphabet of 24, but they mainly focused on the picture sign, and so they also failed to develop a system or symbol representing vowel sound. Now we will discuss about the significance of writing. The connection between writing and city life has been brought out in a long epic Sumerian poem about Enmarker, one of the greatest ruler of Uruk. And this city of Uruk, it is a city of par excellence. And the development of language contributed to the development of literature, and people, they realized the value of writing for the preservation of history. For example, we have Julius Caesar. He wrote a history of his war in Gaul, and also we have the scholars who have recorded the event both in the ancient and medieval period. And also we have the example of the great Indian freedom fighter, that is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who wrote a lengthy letter to his daughter about the world history while he was in prison. And so writing has helped in the preservation of every subject, and also writing has helped in the spread of literacy, especially in the cities, because people living in the cities, they mostly belong to the professional class and traders, and the traders, they can best record the transactions in writing than in any other forms. Now we will discuss about the development of writings. So as I said earlier, by 4000 BC and 3000 BC, there was a steady progress in the art of writing. And so the first form of writing, that is pictographic, was developed in Mesopotamia. And the first Mesopotamian tablets, okay? The first Mesopotamian tablets includes pictures of signs and numbers, okay? And there was a list of about 5000 oxen, fish and bread, and these goods were bought in or distributed by the temple of Uruk, that is a city in South Mesopotamia. And also it is very clear that writing has begun when people need to keep records of the transactions, and especially in the cities, transactions were done at various times and also which involve many people as well as with various kinds of goods. And also the ordinary writing material was the soft clay tablet, and this was considered the most convenient for children struggling to learn writing. And also the signs, okay, the signs inscribed on the clay tablet consist of a stylus, okay. It consists of a stylus. And what is a stylus? Stylus is an instrument for writing, okay, having a triangular tip. So this gave each stroke the shape of a wedge, and therefore the whole system is called cuneiform or a wedge shape. And so by 2600 BC, the letter became cuneiform and the language was Sumerian. And so the Akkadians, they adopted the Sumerian in their Semitic language, and which was followed by the Babylonians and the Assyrians. And so to learn to read and to write was considered the greatest achievement. And so the scribes, this group of people, they formed the most important place in the society. And so now people started making use of writing, not just to keep record of the transactions, but also for making dictionaries, as well as for giving validity to land transfer. And also it was used to keep the record of the king, as well as the important changes made by the king in the laws of the land. So the cuneiform writing in Akkadian language continued until the 1st century BC, which is roughly about 2000 years. And in Mesopotamia also, only few people could read and write. Why? Because they have to learn so many signs, and the signs are very complex. Now we will discuss about the legacy of writing, And so one of the greatest contribution, or one of the greatest legacy of the Mesopotamian to the world was their contribution about the time reckoning and also mathematics. The archaeologists, they have excavated the tables of division, multiplication, and also the tables of square and square root tables, along with tables of compound interest. And the division of the year into 12 months according to the revolution, according to the revolution of the moon around the earth, and also the months into 4 or 5 weeks, and the day into 24 hours, and hours into 60 minutes came to us from the Mesopotamians. And this was adopted by the successor of Alexander the Great, and then passed it to the Roman Empire and to the Islamic Empire and to medieval Europe. And not only that, the occurrences of the solar and the lunar eclipse and the position of the stars and the constellations in the skies were also recorded. And also attempts were made in order to keep the record of the texts and tradition of the past. So the king of Assyria, that is Ashurbanipal, he established a library at his capital, that is Nineveh, and in this library he has made a collection of books on history, epics, and also astrology, and even with hymns and poems. So all these achievements of the Mesopotamians could not have been possible without the use of writing. That's all for today. Let's refer back what we have discussed today. So today we have discussed about the early cities of Mesopotamia, that is the city of Ur, Uruk, Mari, Tepe Gawra, Kirkuk, and early cities of India, that is Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. And also we have discussed about the historians' debate on the usage of writing, significance of writing, development of writing, and legacy of writing. So students, please go through your textbook, and that's all for today.